All right, everybody, I'm Logan Allec. I'm a CPA. This is Money Done Right, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you through a step-by-step how to do a tax return in the TurboTax tax software. And after I'm done with that, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, based on my experience with the tax return I'm showing you how to do in TurboTax, I'm going to tell you what I like about TurboTax and what I don't like about TurboTax. You ready? Good. But first, I want to say that you are watching a completely new channel right now called Money Done Right. You may recognize me from my other channel called Logan Allec. This channel has now become an investing channel, really, about cryptocurrency and NFTs and stocks. While the channel you're watching right now, Money Done Right, is more about kind of the traditional financial stuff, making money, saving money, taxes. We'll talk about credit and getting loans and all that kind of stuff. So that's what that's about. All right, let's get into TurboTax now. Now, if you are going to use TurboTax as your tax software this year, do me a favor and use my affiliate link. It's just go.moneydoneright.com/TurboTax. It'll take you to the exact same page. No extra cost to you, but I'll get a small commission if you buy your TurboTax tax software through TurboTax. Also, if you owe money to the IRS or your state, $10,000 or more in back taxes, email me, taxrelief@loganallec.com. We look at offers and compromise, installment agreements, currently not collectible status. Shoot me an email, taxrelief@loganallec.com. All the info you need is in the description below. All right, let's get into this TurboTax walkthrough and review here. So first thing you need to know about TurboTax is that, yes, they do have a free edition. You need a really simple tax return in order to qualify for the free edition. If you press this button right here for simple tax returns only, it'll tell you what the free edition covers. So TurboTax free edition covers W-2 income, limited interest and dividend income report on 1099 interest or 1099 div, I think basically up to $1,500. Beyond that, you have to file Schedule B. Claiming the standard deduction, so you can't claim itemized deductions and use the TurboTax free edition. You can claim the earned income tax credit. You can claim child tax credits, and you can claim the student loan interest deduction. I think this is new. I think last year, or maybe the year before, I think last year. I don't think you could use the TurboTax free edition with the student loan interest deduction. There are these things down here that if you have stuff like this, you can't use a TurboTax free edition. One thing I want to say is that H&R Block, actually, their free edition covers some things that the TurboTax free edition does not. Like, for example, gosh, where is it? I just saw education credits, right? Like the American Opportunity Tax Credit, Lifetime Learning Credit, that stuff. Looks like you can use the H&R Block free edition and take that credit, but you couldn't do that on the TurboTax. Of course, there's other tax softwares out there like Credit Karma Tax, which is now Cash App Tax. Did you know that? Yes, that happened, that changed, where you can do it all for free. But maybe it's not as hand-holding, you know. Anyway, I'm going to review all the tax softwares this tax season right here on the Money Done Right channel. You don't have to worry about it, but I'm starting with the big dog, TurboTax, of course. Just to go over the other additions here briefly, Deluxe, basically you can take more credits and also take itemized deductions. Premier is if you have like investments, like stock sales, stuff like that, capital gains and losses, crypto, or rental property. So this is Schedule D and Schedule E. Deluxe gets you Schedule A and Schedule B. And then for Schedule C, which is if you're self-employed, you have a small business, to report on Schedule C, you'd have to use a self-employed edition. You can see these editions get progressively more expensive. Don't be fooled by the $39. The state is additional. And this price tends to go up throughout the tax season for the paid edition. So generally the early bird gets the cheaper prices when it comes to tax software. All right, so for purposes of this review and this walkthrough, I'm going to do a simple tax return. I have kind of prepared some basic tax forms here that we're going to go through. You know, a W-2. I got a, what happened there? I don't know. This is weird. I got a W-2. Hopefully you can see this. Actually, let me, can I zoom in? Yeah, I can zoom in. Okay, so I got a, oh, no, this is what I want. So I got a W-2. Yeah, why does a W-2 go first? Here we go. So I got a W-2. right? This is what you'd get from like your employer if you are employed. I'm going to show you how to do that in TurboTax. We got a 1099 interest that wants to go to page 1, $100 of interest income. I would show you, kind of based on a burner kind of investment account I have, I would show you how to do stock sales in TurboTax, but that does not qualify for the free edition. Or maybe I can. Maybe I can show you this, but just not pay for it. We'll see. All right, so without further ado, let's get started here. If you're not sure which edition to use, just start with the cheapest one, and then TurboTax will tell you if you need to upgrade. All right, how'd you do your taxes last year? Well, I did one of these reviews last year, so I'm going to say I used TurboTax. Obviously, if you did not use TurboTax, you would choose something else. But I'm going to say I use TurboTax because I think I still have the account that I used last year to do this very review last year. Just got to think. Okay, there we go. Logan at AlecCPA.com. No, that's not right. I think I want to use Logan at Allec.com. Obviously, if you've never used TurboTax before, you'll have to set up an account, right? It'll look different for you than for me because I already have an account at TurboTax. It looks different, so keep that in mind. But you know, it's not too hard to set up an account. If you've set up an account online before, you will be able to set up an account on TurboTax. Okay, what's the difference here? I don't know. Let's do that one, maybe. I don't know. Ooh. Whew. Jeez. All right, I finally was able to log in. So now I'm in TurboTax. Here we are. And, all right, so I guess it wants me to select the things that apply to my situation, right? Like, okay, I want to maximize deductions and credits. You know, actually, if I say that, they'll probably shoo me then into the Deluxe edition. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say I have a job. And what did I say? I have interest income, right? I don't see anything there. So I'm just going to say I have a job. Okay, so they recommend the free edition, right? Because the only thing you have is a job, as you say here, and maybe some other stuff, small stuff. You qualify for the free edition. So that's what we're going to do. All right, TurboTax. How many years have you filed taxes? Let me know in the comments below. We have your income. Okay, so you know, when I did the demo last year, I had it stored stuff in here from last year, but I'm gonna re-input everything from scratch. So I'm gonna say no, right? Obviously, if you've never used TurboTax before, it won't even prompt you for anything there because it doesn't have anything even stored in the system for you. Did any of these life changes happen in 2021? I'm going to say that none of these apply. Obviously, you would choose the ones that apply to your situation. I guess I'll say new employer to kind of go with the narrative here. Yes. I will say that I'll say he has my taxpayer here has a child and that he received child tax credit payments for them. I will say that he received the third stimulus. And that's it. All right. Oh, this is interesting. This is new. I don't remember them doing this video before. Let's watch it. Or not. Let's see.
Congrats on the new job. I'm Danielle. Let's take a look at what that means for your taxes. Having a new employer means you'll have a new W-2 or 1099 miscellaneous this year. When you get to the income section, you'll be able to easily import, upload, or enter your new forms.
All right, this is like basic stuff. We don't really need to watch that. But I like this. This is actually new, I think. I don't remember this from last year. I like how there's more education here now, right? Like telling you, just basics about the tax law and things to watch out for, right? Like this, or if you had a 401k at your last job, consider transferring it to avoid being charged any fees. So it might not be the right move for everybody, but it could be for some people. Okay, and you can, yeah, I actually like this. So they're focusing more on education. So that is a new plus in TurboTax's book this year. So looks like they have stimulus check information as well. They talk about the recovered rebate credit, which is the credit you get if you didn't get your full stimulus amount. So cool. All right, good job, TurboTax. You're speeding towards the finish line, Tom. Based on what you told us, here are some topics we'll cover in the documents you'll need. Save time by importing your income details directly from your employer financial institution. Tax breaks. Okay, yeah, I know. We need documents. Financial relief. Ooh, this is new too. Is this an upsell? Let's see. Let's move my face. What financial relief? Okay, this is not an upsell. This is actually a legit thing, right? Earned income tax credit, child tax credit. Okay, cool. All right, I can dig that. All right, let's move it back up here. Sign now, save time later. By sharing your tax info with Intuit and your Intuit account, you can save time and effort. With You're Okay, you can get personalized analysis of strategies and offers to help you manage and save and manage your money beyond tax prep. This includes things like tracking your refund, giving you personalized advice, refinancing your loans, providing insights to you and other customers. The hard work will be done for you without you having to re-enter this data. So, I think this is a little bit sneaky because you do not need to sign this in order to file your tax returns with TurboTax. This is actually consent for Intuit, which is TurboTax's parent company, to, I believe it's to share your information. Yes. With your consent, TurboTax will share certain identity and tax info with Intuit to enrich your financial profile, communicate with you about Intuit services, and provide insights to you and others. So check this out. So if you sign this, you're basically saying, yes, TurboTax, all the information that I'm sharing with you in this tax return, give it to your parent company Intuit for them to be able to market products and services to me, right? Yeah. So, like, for example, Intuit bought Credit Karma, right? Did they buy Credit Karma? I don't know. But, I mean, Intuit has lots of different sub-companies, I guess you'd call them, or branches that offer various services, right? Like here, options to refinance existing loans with lower rates and no upfront fees or prepayment penalties. Personally, I don't like being marketed to that much. So I'm going to say no to this. Okay, but how do I say no? Let's see. Okay, so you do not have to. See, and I think it's sneaky because they almost make it look like this is something you have to do, right? The IRS requires us to get, like, some people might just say that, the IRS requires us, and think, oh, I have to sign this. But what this is saying, the IRS requires us to get your consent before disclosing information from your tax return for this purpose. So you do not have to do this. So I'm going to say no thanks. Wait, I thought I said no thanks. That was weird. Did you see that? Did it? I said no thanks once, and did it want me to show me the screen again? All right, continue. Okay, so we have a new person this year. Name is Jimmy Dean. Jimmy Dean. Let's say he was born 1976, and this doesn't really matter because this is obviously a fake person, but we're saying his social is 777-665544. Let's say he's a sausage maker. Let's say not a member of the armed forces. Obviously, you would answer whatever is accurate for your situation. We're going to say you live in California, did not live in another state in 2021. Someone else can claim. And I think a lot of these buttons are pre-populated from last year, right? Because I did a tax software for a review last year, right, with this account. Yours may not be pre-populated, and that's okay. Just answer the questions correctly. Someone else can claim me as a dependent. I'm going to say no. Not legally blind. I'm preparing this return for taxpayers passed away. I'm saying no. I want to change the language the IRS uses to send me written communications. I'm going to say no, but that's a new question. Let's confirm your marital status. I'm going to say that our taxpayer is single, but ready to mingle. Do you have children or support another person? So I'm going to say that his daughter lives with him and that he supports her. I'm going to say my child. I'm going to say her name is Molly Dean. I say she was born on, I don't know, 2009. My daughter, let's say not disabled, did not pass away, none of the above. Not adopted, foster child, none of the above. Tell us more about Molly's living situation last year. Did Molly live with you for the whole year? I'm going to say yes. Obviously, again, you would answer correctly for your situation. Was all that time in the U.S.? I'm going to say yes. Was at least half the cost of Molly's living expenses and other support paid for by Molly? I'm going to say no. She is, 12 years old? She did not cover her own. I guess she'd be 13, turned 13 in 2022. But I don't think very many 12 and 13-year-olds cover at least half of their own living expenses. So I'm going to say no. Let's get more information about who will be claiming Molly. Do you have a written or verbal agreement with Molly's other parent about who can claim Molly? I'm going to say yes. Let's say this is a divorce situation. Is Molly's other parent claiming Molly per legal agreement? I'm going to say no. Okay, that's the form to waive your right to claim the child. Let's check if any relatives will claim Molly this year. Did a relative of Molly's, other than you, live in your home for more than half of 2021? No, I'm going to say it's just Jimmy and Molly. No other support from anybody. Okay, let's move me down here. Good news, Molly qualifies as your dependent. Great. Continue. All right, Molly's social security number. Again, I'm just going to make this up because this is a fake person. Let's see if it takes it. Good. Your children and others you support. Okay, so this is just showing you the information that you input about Molly. Okay, so I'm going to say continue. Please review the address you entered. I think I gave him a different address on his W-2, but you would obviously just put your real address there. Did you make any money in other states? I'm going to say no, I didn't make money in another state. Did you pay more than half the cost to keep up your home in 2021? Yes. Right? So if you paid more than half the cost to keep up your home in 2021, that means you paid, more than half the rent or mortgage, more than half the insurance, more than half all the groceries. So I can say yes, he's the only adult in the household. I'm assuming that that was true for him. All right, so it correctly gave him had a household status, which is more beneficial than single. Had a household to get a higher standard deduction and some other tax benefits. So that is good on TurboTax's part there. All right, so now this is just another review screen to review to make sure that the information is accurate, which it looks like it is. So we're going to keep on moseying down the TurboTax road here, and here it is, folks. Here is the first upsell that we see from TurboTax. I don't like this. I don't like this at all because they're pushing on poor Tom. Did I change his name to Jimmy? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. But they're pushing on our poor taxpayer here. One-on-one special support, personalized tax tips, the ability to amend, some document storage system, audit defense, right? ID theft protection, included for free option to pay with your refund, right? So they're pushing these things that he probably doesn't need. Like, does a guy who just has a W-2 and a 1099 for interest, does he really need audit defense? Is he really going to need amended return? Does he need personalized tax tips or one-on-one specialist support? I don't think so. But they're still trying to push this $29 product on him. And I get it. TurboTax is a business. It needs to make money. But, this is always kind of weird to me. And what's this $39 product? Okay, this is to upgrade. Okay, why would they even present this, though? Like, I don't understand. Like, if he's not, why would they let him upgrade now without even knowing if he needs to upgrade? I don't like this either. So I'm going to say not now. All right, let's get going on your income. Okay, let's get started. Did you win any gambling money, prizes, or lotteries? I'm going to say no, I didn't. Did you sell any property owned by your business? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he doesn't even have a business. Did you own or control a foreign bank account, trust, or financial asset in 2021? I'm going to say no. Obviously, you will answer the questions as they're accurate for your situation. Okay. All right. So now we're going to start inputting the W-2 income. So I'm going to say work on my W-2, and I'm just going to input the numbers from his W-2. First thing to input here is the employer identification number, the EIN. And we can find that very easily right here. 777-665544. Very good. Continue. Okay, you can type it in yourself, or you could upload it from your computer. I'm gonna try this and see how that goes. Okay, where can I find it? Here. Let's see how the old TurboTax does with didn't work. Okay, so we're going to have to input this manually by typing in the numbers ourselves. Your mileage may vary. I think with sometimes you can actually you can import directly from your employer if they use a big payroll. Okay, EIN, bunch of 9s. What did I call the company? Big company at 633 West 5th Street. Zip code 90071, Los Angeles. Okay, I got that. Don't need to do the control number. Employee info should just be this. Yeah, I put in Jimmy, right? It still addressed me as Tom on that upsell screen. What's up with that? All right, now this is where we input the amounts from the W-2. So we're saying that he's pretty well compensated for a sausage maker. So 83,867.54, right? 867.54, federal income tax withheld. And, you know, you can just kind of copy and, well, can you copy and paste? I'm doing Control C, Control V. Yep, that's probably, you know, easiest thing. Social Security and Medicare are the same. In this case, Social Security withheld. Medicare withheld. Alrighty. And then nothing in 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 12A. We got code C there. 41749. And then we got code D, 13125. Elective deferral to 401k. And by the way, that's why these two numbers are different. Because when you contribute to a 401k, you're reducing your taxable income. This is the number that's going to go on your tax return, right? You're going to pay income tax on. But it doesn't reduce your Social Security or Medicare wage base, right? So that's why, you know, this minus this equals 131.25. It's probably beyond the scope of this, but just want to let you know that. Okay, D double D 24,199.76. Okay. All right, 12, 13 retirement plans. Excuse me, I did not get much sleep last night. California STI 3581. Okay. I know some tax softwares, they have, like, if your state has, you know, that contribution, like California does, the state disability insurance fund, you know, they have a separate input for it. I think TurboTax, you just put it here, I think. State taxes. California, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. State wages and tips, etc. State income tax, $4,048.62. We're going to say no local taxes. Oh, my neck. All right, so we're saying your refund so far is $1,593. I think it'll track it as we go along. Let's check for uncommon situations. All right, so it says these don't apply to most taxpayers, but we still have to ask if any related to your work with a big company. I'm going to say none of these apply to our lovely taxpayer. All right, your W-2 info so far. Review it. Looks good. Hit continue. Okie dokie. All right, I'm going to say no unemployment. Did not receive a refund for state, local. Well, I'll review it because it says it needs review. Okay. Excuse me. I'm not gonna last like just a few hours. Anyway, okay. Looks like I'm pretty early doing this review. It's so IRS isn't ready for this yet, I guess, but that's okay because I don't think this would affect this guy anyway. Oh. I don't know. So basically, what this is if you itemize your deductions, you get a deduction for state and local taxes you paid. Unless you're an AMT or something like that. But, right, let's say you get that. Let's say you paid $10,000 in taxes to your state during the year. All right, so you can deduct $10,000 on your Schedule A, on your federal income tax return. Well, what if you got a $5,000 refund from your state? The IRS is like, hey, you deducted $10,000 on as itemized deduction, but you got $5,000 of that back from your state. So next year, right, the year when you get the refund, you got to include the amount you got back from your state as income, to the extent that that deduction for that amount actually gave you a tax benefit in the previous year. So that's what's going on here. So, but if I don't know if this is being calculated correctly, because if I recall when I did the fake review last year, I don't think I had him itemize his deductions. So I would think this should be 0. Okay, this is why it sometimes pays to talk to a pro, right? But I feel they'll maybe correct this because it had that error on screen when I clicked it, or kind of lag, right? So. Yeah, we'll have to see about that. All right, interest on 1099 interest. I'm going to hit yes. Start that. Did you receive any interest income? I'm going to hit yes. Get ready to be impressed. We'll import your forms directly from your financial institutions. You haven't typed it in at all. Well, the problem is the fake 1099 interest I prepared for this is fake, so there is no financial institution to import it from. So I click change how I enter my form, and I'm going to say... I have to type it in myself. Yeah. Payers information. All right. Where's the 1099 interest form? I said big bank at 633 West 34th Street. Interest income, I think I just said 100, right? And that, yeah, 100. Do any of these uncommon situations apply? I need to address the interest part of my form. No, my state doesn't take all this interest. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say none of these apply. Here's your 1099 interest. If you have more 1099 interest to report, add them here. You can also add it early, any of the 1099 interest you've already reported. This looks good. We just have the one 1099 interest for $100. Alrighty. So, you know what? Let's see. Where is... So I did kind of I have this account at Schwab that's just kind of a dummy account. I don't have a lot of money in it. So I thought I'd pull it, the 1099. Now keep in mind, this is a 2020 1099, right? Because 2021 hasn't been released yet. I haven't gotten any 1099s yet because it's still 2021 as I'm recording this. So naturally, I would not get the tax year 2021 version yet because they haven't even been produced yet because it's still 2021. Anyway, okay, so we might as well do this now. I think it might make me try to get me to buy the Deluxe edition. Or wait, no, the Premier edition. The third one up. Not the most expensive one, but the second most expensive. So I'm going to say yes, I got dividends on 1099 dividend. All right, so we're going to work on the dividend income. Sorry, I took a break. I had to put a newborn to sleep. Okay, so this is basically the consolidated package that you would get from like a stockbroker, right? In this case, Charles Schwab. And the dividend section of it is under Form 1099 Div right here. And so what we would do, we basically just need this information here. to input the dividend information. So I'm going to hit start. Did you receive any dividend income? Yeah, 1099 div, consolidated tax statements for brokers. This is more complicated stuff that doesn't apply to our taxpayer situation. Get ready to be impressed. Well, yeah, not really. I'm going to type it manually because this is all fake. I mean, you can certainly, have it imported, but because this is a fake document that I made up, I'm going to type it in myself, obviously. All right, received from... can we do a little split screen type thing here? Let's see. We can do... Yes, let's do like this. Probably easier. All right, so the payer's name and address. So Charles Schwab and Co. Inc. All right, and then the total ordinary dividends is this number here. If you don't know the difference between ordinary dividends and qualified dividends, be sure to check out the video on my channel. Well, the Logan, not the Mind and Right channel, the Logan Allec channel called How Are Dividends Taxed, where I explain the difference between ordinary dividends and qualified dividends. Qualified dividends is 63.29. So you can see, so box 1A, total ordinary dividends, box 1A, total ordinary dividends. Box 1B, qualified dividends, 63.29. Box 1B, qualified dividends, 63.29. On this statement, I don't have anything else here. It's all 0, 0, 0, so there's nothing really else to add. One thing I would say, if you do have an item on foreign tax paid, then that means that you may be eligible for foreign tax credit, in which case you should look at the detail of your dividend distributions and look for the foreign ones, like it might say international or something like that. I don't think I have any in here. Oh, I do. Yeah. But I didn't receive any dividends on them. That's more complicated than what we need to talk about here. Maybe I'll reserve that for another video. But in this specific case, all the rest of the numbers on the 1090 are 0. So these are the only 2 numbers I have to input. I'm going to hit continue. Okay, so if you do have info in other boxes, you would probably check this and then input other amounts. But that doesn't apply here. All right, I'm going to hit continue. Uncommon situations. Tell us about the uncommon situations apply. None of these apply. All right, so this is basically the dividend summary. Just review it, make sure it looks good. I'm going to hit done. All right, now what? Now let's do the stonks. All right, so yeah, stonks and bonds. Yes. Oh. Darn it. Looks like TurboTax isn't ready for this jelly. They're not ready for me to work on this yet. So it says you've done a great job of starting your taxes early, but we're still working on updating the stocks and crypto section for the 2021 tax laws. This means that section isn't quite ready yet. So I'm sorry, folks. You're going to have to wait. Maybe after it is ready, sometime during tax season, I'll jump back into TurboTax and make a dedicated video on how to report, stocks for taxes, how to report crypto for taxes in TurboTax. But as of right now, I'm limited by the software, and I cannot do that. So I unfortunately do have to proceed here. And we're not messing with rental property and royalties with this. So wrap up income. Very good, very good. Were you affected by a natural disaster? I'm going to say no. Obviously, if you were, you'd say yes. Has to be a federally declared natural disaster. Not, oh man, your doghouse got flooded. Okay, did you acquire, sell, or exchange any virtual currency in 2020? I'm going to say no. Back on my Logan Allec channel, which is very heavily crypto focused right now, I am planning on doing videos on crypto and taxes. It can get complicated, and it's beyond the scope of this TurboTax walkthrough. So we hit continue. All right, quick check for tax breaks. Okay. All right, there you are again, Danielle. Right, that was her name, right?
Is entered. It's time to start on deductions. Hi, I'm Danielle. Let's take a look at what they are and how they work.
Okay, so I think this is going to be pretty basic again. So if you don't know how deductions work on a tax return, we could either take a standard deduction, right, which is a standard deduction amount that everybody for your tax filing status gets. They also take into account age and blindness status, but that's, we're assuming our fellow here is under the age of 65 and not blind. Anyway, or you can add up all of your itemized deductions, like mortgage interest and charitable contributions and state and local taxes up to $10,000 per year and other standard deduction or other itemized deductions, and add up the total of all those. And if the total of all your itemized deductions exceeds your standard deduction, you'd probably want to go with the itemized deductions. But if the sum of all your itemized deductions, or if you don't have any itemized deductions, or if the sum of all your itemized deductions is less than your standard deduction amount, you probably want to go with the standard deduction. So for head of household, the standard deduction for tax year 2021 is $18,800. I'm going to assume that our friend here, our taxpayer here, does not have that much in itemized deduction. So, all right, figure out in 2021, did you pay any car registration fees? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he donated like a few $100. I'm going to say he spent a little bit on medical. So those are all examples of itemized deductions, but yeah. Okay, standard deduction is best for you. Okay. That's what I'm going for. Did you pay any foreign taxes? I'm going to say no, I didn't. I'm going to say no estimated tax payments, no college or university expenses, no HSA, not get the home buyer credit. Okay. All right, let's do child and other dependent tax credit. Oh, wait, was there a question there? Was your main home located in the U.S. for 6 months or more? I'm going to say yes. Tell us about your advanced child tax credit payment. So on my Logan Allec channel, for a while, I was extensively covering the advanced child tax credit payments. You can check my channel, Logan Allec, not my old channel, but my other channel, Logan Allec, for more information on that. Did you receive any advanced child tax credit payments in 2021? I'm going to say yes. And because his daughter Molly would be eligible for $250 a month because of her age. So let's see, she would probably, let's say, August, September, October, November, December. Let's say you started collecting in July. So that's 6 months at $250 a month. So that's $1,500, right? So that's typical, right? Because the payment started in July 2021. So most people, they got the payment for July, August, September, October, November, December. So that's what I'm assuming here. I can hit continue. I'm going to say these apply to me. So yeah, make sure this is right, or it could mess up the processing of your return. Okay. Right. So the way that child tax credit worked for 2021, it worked is, there was this expanded child tax credit amount, $3,600 for children under the age of 6. Is that right? I think that's right. $3,000 for children ages 6 and above, or is it under the age of 5? I forget. But basically, lots of people got a portion of that paid in monthly payments throughout the latter half of 2021, and then they would take the remainder as a credit on their tax return. So that's what's going on here. Okay, child and dependent care credit. This is like if you paid like a daycare or something like that for your child. I'm going to say yes. Sure. Actually, I'm going to say no. This might trigger the more expensive version of TurboTax. I'm going to assume no student loan interest and no traditional Roth IRA contributions. And then there you go. All right, other tax situations. I'm going to say donated $1,000 to charity. So special tax law change for 2020 and 2021. Even if you don't, so typically before that, in order to deduct any charitable contributions, you had to itemize your deductions. But this new tax law change said, well, you can deduct up to $300 in 2020 and 2021. even if you take the standard deduction. So I'm going to put 1,000 here, but his deduction is going to be limited to 300. Okay. Any uncommon tax situations? All right. Did you hire a live-in nanny? No. Do you want to apply a refund next year's tax return? No. No presidential campaign fund. No identity protection pin received. Yeah, but look out in the mail for the IP pin letter, because I e-filed like my parents' tax return. But, it got kicked back because one of them had received an identity protection pin letter from the IRS because they thought their identity might have been stolen. And so it messed up their return, and I didn't realize that they needed an IP pin. And then, anyway, look out for letters from the IRS. Did you get a third stimulus payment? I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to assume, he got the $1,400 for himself and $1,400 for his daughter, right? If not, then he would be able to claim the difference as a recovery rebate credit. Well, let's do that, actually. Let's say that he only got $1,400. For some reason, the government forgot about his daughter. All right, so then he qualifies for recovery rebate credit for the difference, right? For $1,400, the amount he should have gotten but didn't get in third stimulus. He was eligible for 28. I said he only got 14, so his recovery rebate credit is 14. 28 minus 14. I'm going to say I don't have a 1095A. Okay, so, I like the state taxes done right. That's like money done right, but taxes done right. Okay, so I guess we did the federal return. Now we're going to move on to state. Can I review? I don't know if I can. See, the thing I don't, maybe it's at the end. I want to just see the return. Some other tax offers, you can see the return as you go along. I don't think TurboTax you can. So that's unfortunate. Okay, it looks like some of your tax forms aren't ready. Okay, whatever. Let's move on to state. I'm going to just zip through the state here. Here's another upsell. I don't like this. I don't like this upsell between the federal and the state return, because with such a simple tax situation, like now they know this guy's tax situation, how it's ridiculously simple. Why would he need audit defense and all this stuff? So I don't like that. Okay, beyond such remaining hand starting taxes, some of the forms you need to complete your federal return have been finalized. Okay. Review the products used to prepare your taxes. Okay, so I you know what? Maybe we're not actually. What about state? Okay, let's do state. I'm going to zip through state because A, a lot of this is California specific. Don't want to bore you with if you don't live in California. And B, a lot of it is basically just transferring information from the federal return to the state return, which TurboTax does automatically. Right, so I'm just going to zip through here. Yes, that address is correct. Select your county. So Los Angeles County. No, this is the California thing. I'm not going to get into it. Do you have a dependent you didn't clear your federal return? No. Did you both have health insurance coverage? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say no. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, this is all stuff that California handles differently. I'm not going to get into any of this because it's California specific. Your state might have its own kind of screen like that. Renter's credit. I'm going to say yes. No, you can't be claimed as a dependent about the property rented. I'm going to say no, it wasn't any of those. I'm going to say no, did not claim a property. I'm going to say no, not married. All right, renter's credit. Untaxed out-of-state purchases, I'm going to say no. Okay. All right, $120 renter's credit. Great, great, great. Again, I'm just zipping through the state here because it's California specific, and I don't want to bore those of you not in California. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, more California stuff. Okay, so that's basically it. That's basically TurboTax. It's saying like a bunch of forms aren't ready yet, but I still would like to look at them, like inspect them if I could. Maybe it's too early in this season. Okay, whatever. All right, so now I want to talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about TurboTax. So the first thing I liked about TurboTax, I guess we can call these pros and cons. The first pro about TurboTax is that it has a great design. It feels luxury. It feels seamless. The screens flow from one to the other. There's never a point where I stopped and I was confused. I mean, granted, I am a CPA, a tax professional, but there's never a point in that process where I think even a non-tax professional who's doing their taxes for the first time would feel confused. So I think TurboTax does definitely have this luxury feel that even some of the the better other tax softwares don't. That said, you do pay for it. I'll get to that when I talk about the cons. Second thing is I have a lot of confidence in TurboTax's ability to generate an accurate tax return. Just as a tax professional, I could see the way it asked questions. I kind of knew where it was going with it to get the accurate answer from the user so that TurboTax could produce an accurate tax return. So I think the two major benefits of TurboTax are A, good user interface, good design, and B, accuracy. All right, so what are some things I don't like about TurboTax? We can call these the cons. First thing is it is expensive. It is not the free edition, obviously, but those other 3 editions, Deluxe, Premier, and Self-Employed, fairly confident that across the board they're more expensive than any competitor, I think, for retail off-the-shelf tax software. So first con would be it's expensive, the price. Second con, I think, would be the free edition is somewhat lacking in supported forms compared to like H&R Block Online. That gap has shrunk over the years, I think. It used to be H&R Block. The free edition would support all this stuff, and TurboTax will only support this. I think TurboTax has kind of closed that gap over the years, but there are still some credits and things like that you can take with H&R Block's free edition that you can't take with the TurboTax free edition. Also, last thing I don't really like about TurboTax is the upsells. Like on 2 occasions, at the beginning and then before the state return was started, our fake taxpayer was presented with the option to upsell for $29 to an option that gives, document storage and, one-on-one consultation and audit defense. It's like, dude, this guy has a W-2, a 1099, and some dividends. Like, he doesn't need all that for $29. Like, he should just save the $29. So, the last thing I don't really like so much about TurboTax is the upsells. All right, folks, that is my TurboTax review for tax year 2021. That is, of course, tax returns done in 2022. I will continue to create other tax software reviews right here on the Money Done Right channel. They should appear all over the screen here when they show up. If not, it'll probably just be videos from my Logan Allec channel. And we'll also be producing and creating great non-tax content for you as well on the Money Done Right channel. How to save money, cash back, how to make money online, all that good stuff. So I'll see you in those videos, folks. Be sure to like and subscribe because we need all the subscribers we can get right now because it's a brand new channel. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.